UVA Academy. Leading the way into the future while valuing our individuality. It's time for you, too, to dive into the world of Pokémon. Director Clavel, head of UVA Academy. Paldea is a sprawling region, bursting with lush nature and magnificent landscapes. It is also, of course, home to the mysterious creatures known to us as Pokémon. They reside here in great numbers, in fact. Pokémon can be found living all over, in the seas, in the skies, even in our cities and towns. We humans coexist with Pokémon, as we both help one another to live and thrive. UVA Academy is here to help you learn even more about these precious partners. Within our halls, people from all regions gather to study together. And as Pokémon trainers, they have their Pokémon do battle, growing alongside them. While a robust curriculum of coursework helps our students draw forth their fullest potential. It is within these halls that you will find your friends, your Pokémon, and your true self. We, the faculty and staff at UVA Academy, can't wait to welcome you with open arms. Are you gonna welcome this thing with open arms too? This weird cybernetic robot thing? Because honestly, some people say that the issues that this game has, specifically with the online stuff, are quite vile. Let's ignore that. Anyway, we see this creature flying high above the skies. I guess in this world, anything that's not human is probably known as a Pokémon, so this Pokémon seems to be drifting into sleep. Don't sleep while flying, folks. Do not try this at home. Oh, no. Well, I guess it wanted to crash like a wave. Anyway. Meanwhile, at a quaint little house in a small little town, we have some weird screen that's still on black as I'm waiting for it to load. Now save. Yes, I get it. Thank you. We have some weird kid who always seems to find the need to, whenever he, meets new people or starts talking, he always starts with, "Hello there, people who have access to the internet and who are currently using it to watch this video. My name is Pun Food, or just Pun if you prefer." And I teased it just a little bit at the end of Link's Awakening. Through some subtle, very subtle references to Pokemon, not to mention the fact I mentioned Pokemon by name like multiple times, But, yeah, here we are. We're playing Pokémon Violet. I hope that, we can all have fun and, nobody gets too violent, towards me or anybody else. Don't have the liveliest comment section. I'm still pretty small, but Pokemon's a big series, so anybody just looking for a random Pokemon series to watch, yeah, don't get violent in the comments, just because I like certain Pokemon that other people might think not. The Pokemon community has just been it's always been a little bit of a mess. And I've been a part of it for at least, most of my life. Started playing when I was like 7, 8, something. Maybe it was more recent than that. I want to say it's been like 10 years exactly since I started playing Pokemon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, but we're here playing Violet. I would have played this sooner, but I was kind of I don't know. I was a bit scared to play a Pokemon game. Just like with, you know, especially with how people were reacting to it. But I think now that the game has been out for a while, I think people's reactions to the game have shifted to good games with some minor flaws, you know. Hopefully that's the main sentiment shared by people. Anyway, Mom says, "Good morning, Pun Food." Well, Mom, it's just Pun if you'd prefer, honestly. Anyway. Oh, already in your uniform and everything. Well, it is your first day at your new school after all. I'm so excited for you. Still, you might want to cool your engines before you go racing out the door. The school contacted me and said that you're supposed to wait here a little while longer. Their words, not mine. Apparently there's something very important for your first day that still hasn't arrived. Is it, people clicking the subscribe button? No? Okay. And ringing the bell? I don't normally tell people to like and subscribe, but the jokes write themselves, honestly. Maybe that's the very thing we're waiting for. Pun Food, get the door, would you? Okay, Mom, that would be like, you know, if my last name was like, that would be like if my name was like, you know, John Smith, and like you as my mom, instead of like calling me John or Johnny, were like calling me John Smith all the time. It's so awkward. It's like, you know, in case I say or just Pun if you prefer, because honestly it's like it's kind of meant to be like Pun is just a singular channel name, isn't that good of a name. Pun Food is at least better, so it's sort of meant to be like a, you know, Pun is like the first name, Food is like the last name, right? Anyway, how do I want to voice Clavel? Old man, sort of proper prim, sort of. Do forgive the intrusion. You are Master Pun Food, yes? On behalf of the Academy, I must apologize for the late arrival of your enrollment documents. And also for my delay in introducing myself. I am the director of Yuva Academy. You may call me Mr. Clavel. The director, and you came in person to help my son with his first day? Well, I am responsible for the entire academy, including any failures on its part. So here are, last, are the enrollment documents that should have already been delivered to you. Goodness, you really needn't have. Since you come all this way, can I at least offer you a cup of tea? No need to trouble yourself. Pun Food. I'm just gonna, anytime it feels appropriate, I'm just gonna leave it as Pun. Pun, I've got a thing or two to discuss with the director here. Why don't you head back up to your room? Go to your room and finish getting ready for school. You'll need your bag and your hat as well. So is that like just bag if you prefer? Anyway. Dumb jokes about how I spell the name. Now, Mr. Clavel, you simply must join me for a cuppa. This way. Well, how can I refuse such a kind offer? I don't know. I lost my voice for him. Mr. Clavel should sound a bit more prim and proper while still sounding a bit old nasally and geezer-like. You know. Anyway, I guess we got a hat and bag at Shining, so ready to put on your hat and grab your bag? No, I'm not. You ready to put on your hat and grab your bag? No, I not really. Okay, fine. No, on second thought, you know, I should just fine. They won't progress the story unless I. Ready to put on your hat and grab your bag. Yes. I mean, I feel like it's the whole, like, in school, it's like, you know, teachers will be like, you should do your classwork, and you're like, I don't want to, and it's like, okay, that's your choice. And then, you know, it's like, you're forced to do your classwork. They're not forcing you to do your classwork, but, you know, or homework or whatever, right? But if you don't, there's like, you know, you can't really, you don't get any credit for the course or whatever, you know? I feel like that's how it's like the illusion of choice, but is it really an illusion? I mean, it's like you could either just choose not to progress the story or choose to progress the story. It's up to you. Anyway, you can press the X button, menu stuff. Anyway, cool. So, speaking of options, I don't know that set options. Does that affect cutscenes? It might, but fast is good. Send the boxes manual, give nicknames, regular, just making sure everything is... What does this mean? Oh, okay. Close. Between the camera, normal or far. I'm a fan of, well, let's try normal. I've just been using... And autosave is theoretically good, but should I lose any footage, it's theoretically bad. Skip cutscenes off. We're doing the story stuff. I will probably turn these down just 2 each. So, because you don't really need to hear sound effects or cries or anything. And I think that's it. Yes, I'll save the settings. No set mode is available, but I will be using set mode. Because that's just how I roll. I'm not going to save just yet. I'm going to save once I confirm that I have all the footage I need. Right? That sounds like a great way to not accidentally, you know, lose the footage and have to, you know, restart the entire game. Anyway. Oh, just look at you. All ready for your big first day? Yes, the uniform of our storied academy suits you quite well indeed. Oh, gracious, how very careless of me. I'd entirely forgotten that I've something else for you, Master Pun Food. A master at puns and food. Just what I've always wanted to be. A most important thing. But your living room is hardly the place for it. Would you care to follow me outside? I feel like I'm losing his voice every time. I'm trying to, like, make him sound prim and proper, which to me... like, always brings to mind, like, that stereotypical, like, British accent of, like, bip, bip, chillio. You know, right? And then I'm also trying to make him sound, like, nasally an old man. Anyway, I wonder what this important thing might be. Let's follow the director out and see, shall we? A lot of rhyming there. If I'm pun food, would that, like, make my mom, like, rhyme food or whatever? Like, loosely related, you know? The puns. Alright. We're outside. You wanted to show me how my hat can block sunlight? Oh, never mind. Right then, dear Pokemon. Time to come out of your Pokeballs. That was not a good accent. That was not a good voice at all. I need to get consistent with his voice. Okay, it's probably easier. We provide it. It should be a bit lower. We provide each student entering the academy a Pokemon of their own. I'll ask you to choose which among these 3 you'd like to have as your partner. Sprigatito, the Glass Cat Pokemon. That sounded more Pokedex than Clavel. Sprr. Fuecoco, the Fire Croc Pokemon. Kra? And Quaxley, the Duckling Pokemon. Pump! They're all very good company. Why, they usually refuse to even leave my side. What's this? So it turns out they're more interested in you, Master Pun Food, than familiar old me. I do wish I could stay and see which one you'll choose, but I must be off to my next home visit. I'll be at the house just over there. Take your time with your decision, then come find me once your mind is made up. Now, if you'll excuse me, until next we meet. What a mannerly fellow the director of yours is. These three are all lovely, but you need to choose just one, right? Not an easy task. Why not take this opportunity to walk about with these little ones and get to know them? I'm sure they have lots to teach you. Oh, but before you go, I got you a little something to celebrate your big day. Take it with you if you're going out on your own. You obtained the Rotom phone. You put the Rotom phone in your bag's key items pocket. The latest model of smartphone. A Pokemon called Rotom lives within it, and it can be used to run all sorts of handy apps. It's a brand new phone! According to the instructions, you can check the map app by pressing the Y button. It'll help you keep you from getting lost, so take good care of your new gadget, okay? Now off you go. Have fun! Alright, we will begin having fun. In a minute, I have to go collect the items all around the house without the use of a run button. Maybe I'd be better off. Yeah, we're gonna... Okay, we're gonna come back for those after we get the run button, because... Okay, what have I done? What have I done? Help! Help! Okay. Hello. Yeah. Let's, We're walking kind of slow. You know how it goes. We walk slow down the road. Once you pass this sign, I believe, is where you finally... Now, there we are. Okay. Kabupoko. That's our hometown, I guess. Not to scale to, like, the actual, like, size that we're supposed to believe this place is, you know. Anyway, that's how it usually is in Pokemon. Anyway, we can pick up many handy items around the house. Laundry is not one of them. We have various potions. We have antidotes. I believe there might even be Pokeball or something. I forget what this item is. It is Pokeball. That's going to be helpful. Okay. Hello. I didn't mean to talk to you. I was just trying to see if there was an item. Cool. We got the items. Don't want to leave those behind. They're so easy to get, and they're just helpful to have. Anyway, what do you have to say? Welcome. This is Capapoko. It's not much. Just a little pinch of community, but it's home. And here he is, in every game. The power of science is amazing! If you connect with friends, you can head out on adventures together, up to 4 of you at a time. In every game, we can always rely on the power of science being amazing. So, and then there's an item back here. One of my favorite things about this game is just getting to get all the items around the place. So, here we are at our next destination. Now, I don't know if it's much to, like, ask you to take a guess at what starter I'll pick, but we have Quaxley, who's styling his hair using the water. Then, we have Sprigatito, to, just smelling the flowers, hanging out, I guess. And then we have the adorable Fuecoco, who, unfortunately, sneezes on his fruit, completely charring it. Are you these three's trainer? Oh my god, I need to work on that voice so my voice doesn't crack. Not quite. Master Punfood has yet to make his choice, you see. I do wonder which of them he'll choose as his first Pokemon. I'm not a fan of how they line it up grass, water, fire instead of grass, fire, water. You know, because in Dex order it goes grass, fire, water. Whatever. Alright. Buenas! We haven't met, have we? I must say, I wasn't expecting to see you here quite so soon. Hang on, Director. Is this who I think it is? Yes, this is our academy's This is our academy's newest student, Master Punfood. He will be attending as of today. So you're the kid who moved up the road. I've been dying to find out more about you. I'm Nimona. Normally I live in the school dorms, but home is here. What do you say, new neighbor? Wanna be friends? Honestly, Nimona's probably the best rival, subjectively, the best rival in the series, so who wouldn't want to be friends with her? Love that enthusiasm. We're gonna get along just fine. Miss Nimona is president of our student council and a champion-ranked trainer in her own right. I absolutely love Pokemon battling. In fact, we should battle right now, you and me. Easy now. You two will be in the same class, so you'll have plenty of time to battle later. And get to know one another better, of course. We're gonna be neighbors and classmates? Nice! We'll be able to battle all we want. On that note, Master Punfood, have you decided which of these Pokemon you would like to be your first partner? So, going through the options one more time, we have Sprigatito, we have Quaxly, and we have Fuecoco. I don't know why I said them like that. I guess just whatever reason. So, let's go into just a really quick sort of look at what these three are like. So, Sprigatito is a grass type, of course. Grass isn't the best defensively, but it is very important because it's one of two types to resist ground. Flying is technically immune, but grass, bug, and flying are the only types that can really counter ground effectively or safe switch into like an earthquake. So the grass is tied for the most weaknesses with rock. Not to mention Sprigatito's final evolution is unfortunately suffers from having a quad weakness, and it definitely has a lot of weaknesses. You'll find that. But Sprigatito excels at being a fast physical attacker, being the fastest out of these three, and I believe having the second highest attack stat out of these three. Though one of them is a special, so I don't know if it's the second highest attacking stat or just the second highest attack. I can't remember. I should look that up. Anyway, then we got Quaxly. Quaxly is a bird, but does not evolve into a flying type. You probably know what it evolves into, type-wise, but water's pretty good. Water's only weak to two things and has resistances to some pretty common types: ice, fire, resist one more thing, I think. Steel. Steel is an important resistance. Well, not really important resistance, but it's an important thing to be able to deal damage to. Water's pretty good. It's honestly... Grass is often seen as the weakest link in terms of types, and for good reason. Water is a pretty top-tier type, especially in competitive. But the problem is there's usually an abundance of water types, so taking a water type as your starter isn't necessarily the best choice. Quaxly, however, gets to be unique in that its final Evo does something pretty cool. I believe it has the best attacking stat out of any of the starters. However, I think it does suffer from a little bit of a lack of speed, but it has an answer to that. The one last thing to really mention about it is this Quaxly becomes a counter to steel types immensely, and the other ice type that it also resists, and just generally is pretty solid. I don't think there's a single type in the game that resists both of its attacking types, so it's pretty good. Then we got Fuecoco. Fuecoco is adorable, of course. He's a fire type. Fuecoco is probably my suggestion if you're just going to go into the game without a preset team in mind. If you're just going in for the first time playing Pokemon, I recommend Fuecoco. simply because it is hard to find fire types. They're out there, they're in the game, but there are only like 2 other new fire type lines available before beating the game. Fuecoco is pretty good. It evolves into a strong special attacker, although it's slow. It's not that slow, and it has good ways of setting up, boosts and such when it's fully evolved. Fire as a typing, it's kind of in the middle. It has one more weakness than water, but it has some pretty good resistances. Honestly, grass is only really staying alive because it resists ground. And probably Sprigatito's final form has the worst type combination in terms of having the most weaknesses. However, Sprigatito's final form does hit a lot of types, like very important types like water and ground for super effective damage that unfortunately Quaxly and Fuecoco do not. Sure, Fuecoco is good for burning through, some common types, but they're not necessarily the best types that are hard to deal with normally. With that said, Fuecoco is probably what I recommend for new players, and Quaxly's a strong starter, but I have to go with my favorite, and that's Sprigatito. I was thinking of using Quaxly simply because it's, the starter that I like the least, and it would be fun to see me grow attached to it, or Fuecoco because I wanted to use it but never got the chance to, i.e. like it was a runner-up and I wanted to kind of see what it would do. But I think I'm just spurred. I've been sprig. It's like spur. I guess you could be like spur, like a perp. I'm picking Sprigatito. It's my favorite. Okay, it's probably my favorite starter of all time. So it's fast. It's a physical attacker. It's the fastest of the 3, and honestly, one of the fastest things in the game, especially if you rate is it to increase its speed even further. It does lack a little bit in defenses compared to the other 2, but honestly, you should be going first, and it's got a not bad typing, especially when you're trying to deal with some of the, more interesting types. I'll get into that when we evolve it. Anyway, Spur. See, it says Spur right there, so you get the pun I was trying to make. Anyway, that's Sprigatito, a grass-type Pokemon. It can use its plant powers to soak up whatever water you throw at it. Would you like to go with our... Oh, that's Clavel. Would you like to go with our good grass-type Pokemon Sprigatito here? Yes, I would. Spur! You chose Sprigatito. Would you like to give Sprigatito a nickname? Yes, I would. This, of course, is based on a grass, and it's based on a cat. It's also Spanish in origin, but we got a male. Okay. Let's go with... I named my original one Flower, and I named my other one Floor. So, I didn't really come prepared. So, how about we name it... Oh. I believe that is how you spell that. I can change this in a moment if it's in before the next part if it's not. So, we decided to name our Sprigatito Florian after the canonical name of the male protag in this game. Doesn't have flowers all the way through its life cycle, but I don't know. I just like to name... I guess I could have named it Rose or Poinsettia or something, I don't know. But Florian seems to make the most sense. Anyway, Sprigatito seems to have taken quite a liking to you, Master Punfood. I always feel the name to say it's Sprigatito, like that. So trying to do that leading into Clavel... No, okay. This is your first Pokemon, yes? Please raise it with love and care. And of course, be sure to keep it tucked safely inside a Pokeball. Alright. So, Punfood, I can't believe you actually chose Sprigatito. I mean, way to make the perfect choice for you. You two make such a good combo. Can I choose one of these Pokemon too, Director Clavel? Oh, but did you not receive a Pokemon when you entered the Academy, Miss Nimona? Not back then, no. I had other Pokemon I was focused on raising at the time. But now I want to raise a new Pokemon alongside Punfood while he raises his own partner. Indeed, a rather splendid idea. If you wish to raise one of these Pokemon on equal footing with Master Punfood here, I shall be more than happy to allow it. Yes! Since Punfood chose Sprigatito, I'll go for this little one. Nice to meet you, Quaxley. Welcome to the team. Pa-pump. All right, then. Now that we've chosen our Pokemon, we have to battle. I'll be waiting for you down at the beach. Come join me when you're ready. As you may have noticed, Miss Nimona is a tad overly fond of Pokemon battling. But I do hope you'll join her for a battle. It will help you to get to know your own Pokemon as well. I suppose that's true. And I guess that we will go fight her next time. But for now, my name has been and will be tomorrow, the day after that, and 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 it always will be Punfood. And it's also weird that there's no music right now. Another reason why I suggest that new players maybe should start with, should choose Fuecoco, despite it being the runner-up in my eyes for which one I like best, is simply because I think I wouldn't say it's the canonical choice the player makes, like according to any other sources, but I think it gives, Nimona Sprigatito, I don't think, but it gives Nimona Sprigatito, which I think suits her the best of all the options. I do think that Quaxley may suit her well just because of its final form and aligning with her love of battles, but I do think that Sprigatito probably just suits, like she has that green streak in her hair, so I think, the grass type. Plus, I'm not going to fully spoil anything, but, the starter you don't pick does reappear later, so yeah. I think that Fuecoco just gives the matching personalities of the starters to the correct people. Just my opinion.